All right, so in this video, I'm talking with Paul, the CEO of Topa 3D, and we want to tell you a little bit about what we did together. So I delivered a workshop called the Architecture of Messaging for Paul's team at Topa 3D. And so we really want to talk about what the results were and what somebody might expect from taking that workshop, the architecture of messaging. So Paul, do you want to tell us a little bit about what you do with your teams and with your suite of companies?
Yeah, thanks, Léandre. It's been really great working with you. We had this opportunity to grow and scale, and we were at a place where we were trying to figure out how to do that because we offer a lot of services. So what we do is we offer what's called reality capture services. And that's sort of like surveying. And what we do is we use 3D laser scanners and drones and 360 photography and other kinds of tools to document project sites, mostly for construction and for architecture, so that they can know what they've got for as-built documentation. And also it's a way to do quality control validation as they're building the building. So we work on a large amount of projects, including data center spaces. And what we found is that a lot of people in the field and our clients didn't really know what we did. They know they needed us. A lot of times the owner would ask for our services because they understood it, but the actual general contractor really didn't fully get it. And I have a pretty, growing team now, and a pretty good sized team. And we kind of needed to all get on the same page with messaging. And so just a brief history, we went through a lot of marketing firms. We paid a lot of money. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars to try to help us come up with a branding strategy. And we have excellent graphic designers on the team, but branding is kind of a holistic messaging, approach. And we kind of discovered that working with you. And I met you on LinkedIn, which was great. And you did, coaching for book writers. And I thought, well, let's think outside the box and see what he has to say. And you had some really interesting insights right off the bat. And you talked about, we're in a thousands-year-old conversation with our clients that have been happening over, millennia about the same problems. And we're just in a new generation talking kind of about the same problems. We want to do things further away from, I think sometimes we say further away from poverty. We want to get more into abundance and expertise. We want to be able to do it faster. And you said, how would you approach that if you were sitting at the table with this thousand-year-old conversation? What would you say to these new people? And it just made me think about things in a different way. So we engaged in this agreement to talk about branding in your workshop, and it was awesome. So what that was is we told you what Topa 3D does, and you mirrored back that information, you understood it, and you helped us break it down into simpler terms so that our clients could potentially understand it better as well. And then we started talking about what's really kind of badass about what we do and what sets us apart from, sort of traditional methods, and why does that matter to them. And we went through a whole laundry list of different ideas on why that matters and why it's important. And what happened is this sort of synergy was building with our team at that time when we were on this conference call with you, because you're in Canada and we're in Oregon. And they started getting excited because they started shooting ideas and seeing how this is all coming together. Because like I said, we offer a lot of different services. We have a lot of different technology tools. And we found common threads that sort of wove those together into a common message, which is, we take pain out of your process is what it sort of boiled down to. And we really kept hitting the knee of that pain point by what we can offer with speed and reliability and accuracy so that they know exactly what they have in their building or what they need to do as a building is being built. That was super valuable. And if I might, can I go ahead and roll into the next piece with Fior?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Fior Innovations is a new company that I just started about a year ago, and we are offering reality capture software solutions. And our first software platform is called Resolute. So we engaged with again, a couple of marketing firms and a web design firm, and they did okay, kind of helping us see how these things could tie, but it was weak. We had the Fior website had this color and this kind of branding, and it just says, offering great solutions for reality capture. Okay, and then the Resolute was this sort of other, sort of photo viewing software that's very high end. And we couldn't really figure out how to get those brands to talk together. It's like, well, if we go to a trade show, do we advertise Fior Innovations or do we just showcase Resolute? And, through our conversations with you, we very quickly, within 3 hours, came up with a whole hierarchy strategy of how Fior and Resolute and other software that we're going to be developing all ties together. So we have totally revamped the whole website. Both of them now are tied together. It shows there's a parent company with all these products that are going to be offered. And it got the team excited as well, because now they understand that we have not just a short-term goal of one product out in the market, but many products. And we have a platform that can scale. And to that point, I think that was the hardest thing for us to figure out. How do we scale this company to show that we offer all these different products in a way that makes sense to the consumer? And we kind of racked our heads around that for about a year. And with you, in 3 hours, we had a solution. And I think that was remarkable, because you're not in our industry and you think about things from a sort of a high level. And it got us thinking outside of our industry, because we're so sort of laser focused on what we do. We started seeing, oh, this is actually a problem that can be solved in this way with this sort of hierarchy structure. And why is it relevant? And we went through all that with why the clients are going to need it. So that really supported our messaging. So not only did we revamp the website, we revamped the product in the way the product's presented to the customer. And we redid our trade show booth kind of design, order all new stuff. Like, it's a whole revamp of everything because of these conversations. And as I said before, I was paying tens of thousands of dollars to different marketing agencies for SEO, and they weren't really helping with the branding. They weren't really helping us understand what our message was. And what you offer is just a very straightforward conversation that gets really real. Like, you could say things like, where does it really shine and where does it really suck? And that forces us to get really honest with ourselves as a team and think about this and present this to the world in a way that I would suggest that most people won't think about. And so the value that was created was tremendous. You weren't tens of thousands of dollars, not to undercut your pricing, but your pricing is super fair for what you offered in such a short time. And I think it's a testimony to your listening skills, your extensive background in reading and writing. And that's what we needed. We need somebody who could think about things more holistically, like that 1,000-year conversation that we're just now joining again. How do we solve today's problem, which is very similar to the problem that was 500 years ago? How do we build a building that's straight? It's not actually anything new. The principles remain the same.
Thank you, Paul. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, and we appreciate you. So we'll be talking to you again for sure as we keep moving forward with these new endeavors, for sure.
Awesome. Really appreciate it. Thanks again for your time.
You bet. Thanks so much, Léandre.